The E.A.F.P podcast.
As electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub, my friend.
On the JCA Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor app. Hey friends, hey family, like the new design here. Big shout out to Jack, part of the Star 6 Media, for this logo design. Appreciate everybody else on our. It looks nice. It looks. I like it. I like it. It is brought to you by the Star 6 Media platform, guys. Make sure you guys follow the Star 6 Media social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok too, as well as we provide you guys with much more podcasts outside of myself with the E.A.F.P podcast, with the JCA Sports Podcast, Big League Chicago, Slapshot. 3 Up, 3 Down, and also Only Football Podcast. I am live here to give you my final predictions. Last week I gave you guys who's going to come out the group, the winners, and also the round of 16. I'm going to give you guys a quarterfinal, the breakdown of the quarterfinal, semifinal, and final for the World Cup as it starts on Sunday. Oh, I forgot to change my little sign. I never do it before every episode. Now this time I forgot. But anywho, I'll give you guys later on who's going to be my prediction for the final this year, this upcoming World Cup. It should be exciting. Obviously, I've been watching a lot of the FIFA Undercover on Netflix. It's a good documentary series. It's a 4-part series. They all 4 will probably run roughly about like an hour long. It's something that we all knew about, the corruption, how Russia and Qatar got the World Cup. Same with South Africa, but that one has like just a little bit more personal meaning behind it than anything else. But definitely it's basically just going around Russia and Qatar for 2018, 2022, which we all knew from right then and there that it was, it was bought. It was definitely corrupt for sure, and it just gives it back to the background story of it. I appreciate it. I liked it a lot. It was a good one. I stuck through it every single episode, and it's a good series to watch. You can binge watch it literally within like a couple hours. So make sure you guys keep a lookout for that one. It's on Netflix, FIFA Uncovered. So take a look out for that one. But this is the E.A.F. podcast. New design, new intro and outro will be introduced for my podcast starting for the World Cup, and will continue to be it for the entire longevity of this show, as long as I come up with something creative and change it up maybe later on. Who knows? We'll see. But this is the E.A.P. podcast, guys. I got the link right here in the comment section if you guys want to join me, talk about some soccer, talk about the World Cup. Give me your predictions. Who is your favorite winning the World Cup, right? I know there's a lot of people that have 1, 2, 3, just to be on the safe side, but who is your legitimate favorite to win the whole entire thing coming into the World Cup in 2022? That starts literally on Sunday. So give me your predictions, see what you guys have. I got one right here. Let me see what we got. What's up, Isaiah? What's going on, man? How are you today, man?
Hello, Eric.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. What you got going on, man?
So, do you love wrestling?
I am not. Well, how could I say this? How should I say this? I enjoy wrestling, but I only enjoy wrestling just for like the big events.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have a show, Sports Strip Live, that's live on every Tuesday, man. If you want to hop on, they talk about everything wrestling, everything UFC, everything MMA.
What a day.
Yeah, it's been quite a day. Where you from, man?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, you from Jersey? Oh, nice. Look at you. We got a little fan from Jersey over here, man. Have you caught up with Sports Strip Live?
Yeah, I love soccer. I went to soccer. I would. Hold on. Let me mute my TV.
Yeah, that would help out, man.
I went to soccer practice.
Oh, yeah? What position do you play?
I was 12 years old because I played soccer.
Oh, yeah? And what position do you play?
Forward?
Oh, nice. So you're the one that was bringing in all the goals in, huh?
Yeah. My soccer coach name is Coach Mike.
Coach Mike. Shout out to Coach Mike. Who's your favorite team? Who do you follow?
FC Barcelona.
You follow FC Barcelona, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Who's your favorite player?
Lionel Messi.
You know what? That was kind of that question shouldn't even been asked. I knew it was had to be Messi. I mean, I was hoping for somebody different, but I mean, you can't go wrong with Messi, right?
Yeah, hold on. I have to play my game.
Do what you need to do, man. So how do you feel about Messi? You think Messi's gonna do it this year, winning the World Cup?
Yeah, they defeated the team.
I wish him all the luck, man. I wish Messi all the best
You know
luck for
what?
the World Cup. But I mean, look, you see what I have right here? I'm a Mexico fan, man, and I know we face him in the group, and that's the only team that I don't wish him. Good luck on. What are you playing?
Smash vs. Raw 2010.
Oh, nice. That was a fun game, man. That's a fun game.
Yeah, I played that when I was a kid. 2020.
Nice. Well, Isaiah, thank you, man. Thank you for hopping on, and I appreciate you, man. But like, Sports Trip
Hey, look
Live.
at me.
What's up?
I'm in the game.
Say what again?
I'm in the video game.
Oh, you created your own player?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Hold on.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get my show going on. All right. Appreciate you hopping on, man. Go Messi, right?
Yeah, bye.
Bye, man. Have a good one. That was Isaiah, man, hopping on here, saying that Barcelona is his favorite team, and also that, I mean, obviously, if you're a Barcelona fan, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a Messi fan too. So, yeah, he's rooting for Messi and Argentina for this World Cup, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, speaking of which, that's actually a very good segue to bust out the quarterfinal bracket. What I have right here, obviously, I do have Argentina passing into the quarterfinals, and they're going to play against Netherlands, who they played against the United States men's national team in the round of 16. And Argentina faced. I have it right here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had to write it down real quick. And Argentina would have faced against Denmark as the runners up for Group D. I did pick Netherlands, Argentina. This game, to me personally, Netherlands, if they were in this position, facing Argentina in this round, I honestly do believe that this team would probably have been the dark horse. Now, if they come out second out of that group, I mean, hey, even coming out second in that group, I would have given them a good shot too to play against England, because I think they match up toe to toe very well with the players that they have on the squad, defensively, midfielding, and obviously up front. They're a little bit more stout, especially with Virgil van Dijk, but it looked like he's taking a step 2 or 3 steps back this year. Playing with Liverpool as a center back. But even then, so, right, even for this one, I have them winning the group in Group A. They face Argentina in the quarterfinals. I think Argentina is probably the best team coming into this World Cup. They haven't lost in like 665 games. And I mean, I know. It just seems. How should I say this? I just can't see. I know what game that Argentina might come in. I know a game where they might struggle and they're going to face. But right now, I have Argentina into the semifinal. This is the last hurrah for Messi. I do believe so. I do believe this is probably the year. So to me, it's going to be in this one. It's going to be Argentina advancing barely to. I think this is going to be a closer game than people. I don't know if people give a lot of credit, or even if they have this matchup in the semifinal. But I personally do. This matchup is going to be really close. I do believe that Argentina will pull out the win in this one and go into the semifinal, which will they face the winner of Germany versus Brazil. The last time these two met, semifinal 2014. I think the biggest surprise out of the whole entire World Cup that solidified them going into the final, Germany. And in a span of 7 minutes, this game got turned on its head real quick. And the best part about it, the great part about it, is the fact of the matter is that it just went completely like, the expression of like when you're at a game and you feel and you hear, or when you're at a game and you're in a stadium and you sit in and you just feel like the stadium just goes lifeless, right? And this game, you felt it and you actually saw it through the television. I know I did. In 7 minutes, this game was over. Like, Germany was just in a whole nother level. People thought, the injury of Neymar would have made a difference. The way how Germany was constructed that year, Brazil had no shot. They had that home field advantage. They played in the World Cup at home. They honestly do. They rode that wave, and I guess Neymar's injury was just enough for them not to even make it. Go into the final. Which they were heavy favorites, but the team wasn't. It was a Brazilian team that, let's be honest, out of the last 20, 25, 30 years, is probably one of the weakest teams that Brazil probably put out in the World Cup. One up, right? I mean, you could go to '06, you can go, maybe even 2010 as far back as it goes for Brazil. But even then, so uh, it just this World Cup, this World Cup is different from Brazil, right? This World Cup is different for both teams. You can see the transition from Germany from the players that won it back in 2014 to the players right now. There's a much younger squad. There's a much younger youth into this team. We're mixed with a lot of veterans. I mean, you got Manuel Neuer. You still got the grandpa, El Capitan. I mean, not really the Capitan, but the grandpa, the godfather of the mom in Thomas Muller. Um, it sucks for Royce, man. I really wish that I did see Royce in this World Cup, but his injuries again, man. Every time there's a big major tournament for him, Michael Royce has to be on that team squad for Germany, and he's just not there. He gets hurt at the wrong times, man. It's just a man that deserves a lot more because that's a gifted player for sure. And it just this team has a mixed quality of with why am I messing up his name? The defender for Dortmund, Matt Hummels. That's another one that was another crafty veteran too as well that has been there, done that for this team. And now you have a lot of it with Sadio Mane, with even Toni Kroos. How can I forget him defensively? But they also had carried the 18-year-old too as well who just got called up from Germany. Like this is just a mixed bag of Germany that it's a good flow for them. But I think this is by far the most deepest team that Brazil has probably had carried into the World Cup in recent memory that I can ever think of. I mean, you're talking about from the goalkeeper, they have depth, right? With Alisson and Ederson, and you can't go wrong with either or, right? From defenders, Dani Alves once again comes back. You have, Marquinhos, you have Militao, you have um, oh my God, I'm just blanking on the teams themselves. Let me look it up real quick. But if Brazil comes in with a squad that is so deep that you can give them any shots, even going in the middles and forwards with Fred and Neymar and with Gabriel Jesus and Richarlison. You have Vinicius Jr. on one wing. You could go on and on and on with the team that are coming into this World Cup with Brazil, and you give them a shot against anybody in this competition. And to me, honestly, Brazil has a better shot to make it into a final or even a semifinal this year simply because of what they bring into the table. Now, Chicha has to put the squad up and put the right squad in. And let me tell you, I'm talking about you have Ederson, you have Danilo, you have Thiago Silva. How could I forget about Thiago Silva? For sure, Marquinhos, Dani Alves, Militao. You have, you know, Alexandro, Casimiro, Lucas Paqueta. You have Fred, Fabinho, Bruno Gameiras, and it goes on and on. Rafinha, Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, Anthony Vinicius Jr., and Rodrigo. Players that are playing top quality. And my boy, Gabriel Martinelli, too, as well. Like, this team is stacked. This team has been probably the most deepest Brazilian team out there. And Rick, what's going on, Rick? He said, is going to be Neymar's last World Cup? Maybe. I'm leaning more towards no. I think the one here for the United States, Mexico, and Canada will probably be the one that will be his last one. Other than that, I still see one more World Cup in him. Just one. But it's a possibility though. It can be a possibility that this could be Neymar's last World Cup. But man, this squad is deep. This squad is very, very deep. And honestly, I think I'm just going to give the edge a little bit to Brazil. I think with the flair, the yoga bonito that they love to play with a lot, you can see it a lot with this team. And especially these players can produce, going forward. And they can defend themselves, with Thiago Silva as the main guy running the whole entire show. You can't go wrong with either goalkeeper. I think Alisson probably had the upper hand on there too over Ederson. But you can't go wrong with either or. The lineup card, you're going to have Dani Alves on right with Marquinhos and probably Thiago Silva and Alex Telles going left from right to left. Middles, you can't mess it up. It's Casemiro, whoever you want to put, because everybody's going to be, Casemiro, Fabinho, Fred. That could probably be the three combination that they're going to have in there. Hell, you could probably be a little bit creative and have a little bit more flair on top and have Fabinho Fabinho and Casemiro on top and have Lucas Paqueta be in front of them, creating for the three in Gabriel Jesus if you're going to put him on forward with Neymar out wide. And then wherever you put it, either Rodrigo or Vinicius Jr., you can't go wrong with either or. You can put a speedster, switch Neymar, put a speedster, and Gabriel Martinelli on left. Like you're hearing me talking about this Brazilian team and how deep they are, and it goes deeper beyond that. I honestly believe this one, they're gonna get the revenge on Germany. I do see Germany. This will probably be the toughest game they're probably gonna have in the whole entire World Cup, because they're just easily going to walk past by through that group, and especially the first game of the round of 16. Just give me Brazil. I think it's going to be. We're going to see an Argentina-Brazil semifinal this year in this World Cup, and I'm excited. I think nobody can be mad at that one, right? I don't think nobody can. Nobody really can be mad at that one. That will be an exciting matchup because you're going to get the two, if not the best rivalry in world football between Argentina and Brazil. I presumably so. Let's go on the other side of the bracket too. I got England and France in the quarterfinals here. I think I'm just about quarters. No, I got it right. You get the defending champs. I actually had the defending champs breaking the champion curse. The champion curse. The winner of the previous World Cup failed to get out of the group, especially the last 5 winners. Germany didn't do it in 2018. It was the Mexico group. Spain didn't do it in 2014. Italy didn't do it in 2010. Matter of fact, I don't even think they qualified for that one, if I'm not mistaken. And Brazil, I think Brazil did get out of the group, but got knocked out in the round of 16 in 2006. France got knocked out of the group in 2002. You get the trend. There's a trend going with this 1-1, right? But I feel this time France is as deep as Brazil is how deep France is too. In this tournament, you can't go wrong with Hugo Lloris in the back. Varane's injury. I mean, it says something. It hurts them a little bit, but they're still solid going forward. Hey, when you still have Antoine Griezmann, when you still have Kylian Mbappe, when you have players of that magnitude on your squad, you're gonna be in every single game. Varane is actually, he did come back. My boy William Saliba probably might be the center back too. He plays with Arsenal, that's why I say my boy. But you can't go wrong. Upamecano is up in there. Kanunde is up there. You have Pavard, who scored this stellar, beautiful, most magnificent, probably the best goal in the World Cup in 2018 against Argentina. Going on there, you have a lot. You have a lot of talent coming. Camavinga, who's from Real Madrid, obviously Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, Benzema, King Benz up top. Like, again, another team with squad, and they also are coming off, the defending champs. Give me France. I think France will come out of this one, and they'll apparently England has to wait another 4 years for them to bring it home again for a World Cup. Give me France against. Give me France in this one against England. Moving on to the next one, who's going to face France in the semifinal? Well, surprise, surprise, this is who I had. I think this is probably the only one where I mixed it up a little bit simply because there is a mix-up here. Uruguay, it's not the same Uruguay that we've seen in 2010, the young, feisty, gritty Uruguay team that got out of Luis Suarez in the quarterfinal against Ghana and winning in the PKs, them going into the semifinal and losing to the Netherlands. And then it's just been an up and down roller coaster after that in 2014 and 2018 for Uruguay. But this year, you got your mixed bag of youth, obviously with Valverde out wide and Darwin Núñez up front being your talisman trying to score the goal to replace Luis Suarez. Defensively, they're still solid in the back. Uruguay, sorry, I was about to say France. Uruguay still defensively solid in the. They're going to play it well. They were probably the top 3 teams, or they were playing third in CONMEBOL in scoring wise. So this team has the opportunity to score and to bag in a lot of goals, and they're young and hungry. And this is a team that maybe not this year, this year, right? I got them coming out, first in this group. I literally have Uruguay coming out first in this group. But even then, you got a Croatian team who's literally on their last. You're talking about golden generation, starting back in 2014. Mexico eliminated them in the group stages, but 2018 they had a remarkable and marvelous run to the final to lose against France in the final. And they still kept in every major tournament even after the 2014 World Cup. I know they had a semifinal in the Euros 2 years later. Obviously, like I said, we got the final in the World Cup in 2018. Another semifinal run in the Euros 2 years ago, and now they are again, another quarterfinal run, and a team that has a lot of experience in Croatia. I think it's time. I think this is the time of the golden generation flops. Um, Not flop, but Croatia's on their back nine. I honestly do. Luka Modric can only do so much. This team can only do so much, and this group that Croatia is in, as easy as it may look for them to come out of this group top. I have them coming out of this group. The top of this group. I really, really do. They're in the same group with Canada, Belgium, and Morocco. It's not an easy group. Belgium. I said they're overrated. Obviously, I won't be surprised if they come out tops of this group or even second in this group, right behind them. I can also see the Croatia and Belgium winning two, and Canada and Morocco just fight for the third spot. I mean, I can see that too. But me personally, how I personally feel about it, I think Canada will probably be the best representative of CONCACAF this year, making a run in round 16, playing very well. I said it before in previous podcasts, and I'll say it again. Canada is the Costa Rica starting from 2010 and on, maybe 2006 and on. They were going to have this Canada team play tough and hard for this next 4 years, and they're guaranteed another World Cup in 2026, 2020, whatever it is. Yeah, 2026. The next year when it's here in the world, when it's here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, they're guaranteed, so they don't have to qualify. You just have to be healthy and develop more young players. But I have Croatia and Canada coming out of that group with Belgium and Morocco. Like I said, big game tournament. Belgium, they're on their last leg too. This golden generation that really flopped. They've only been to one semifinal and out of the major tournaments. They haven't really done nothing in any World Cups. I think this is the World Cup where I guess they have the talent going with Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, and everybody else. Like they have big star players from front to back, but I honestly don't see this team coming out of this group. Me personally, if they do, cool. I get it. That's fine. They have the talent to do so, but after that, what do they offer against the teams? They're gonna struggle in the group stages in the knockout rounds. I don't see them passing around the 16 if they move out of the group. So, I mean, this is just me in my personal opinion. Obviously, when the games play, maybe it might be different, right? But personally, like I said, Belgium's overrated. They're overrated as they can be. They're only a starting 11, and that's it, if that. But it be what it be, right? So I have Croatia versus Uruguay in this one. Again, I'm going out of the box here. Croatia on its last legs. Give me Uruguay coming out of this one. I think the young up and coming group of Uruguay and then playing in CONMEBOL really helps out. I have three South American teams in the semifinal: Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay for this one, right? With France being the only strong representative of Europe. This team is built different in Uruguay, a lot more hungry, and I think this is going to be a scary team coming up to this World Cup in 2026 here in the States, Mexico, and Canada. I do believe that. John has a question: is Bale going to score against the United States? Bale, it's a big game. Bale, it's Gareth Bale with Wales. Like you have Gareth Bale, big moment Real Madrid, and then you have Gareth Bale Wales. And Gareth Bale Wales is better than Gareth Bale big game Real Madrid. And I could personally see him score a goal. I could even see him score a brace. Like this is a very important game for the United States for them to try to slow down this Welsh team with Gareth Bale. And I personally don't see it. But if the United States want to get out of this group or want to come out second in this group, they have to. They need to. They must get 3 points against Wales because the tie doesn't do them any favors. Because they have England next on Black Friday. They have England. They have England next, and then it's a be all end all against Iran. And the United States are not looking good right now. So I mean, he's he's a dragon. I completely agree with you. This dude's a beast. Gareth Bale Wales is a different monster. He's a different player and a player that nobody wants to get. You know, but I personally like. I know I have England and the United States coming out of this group, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wales has surprises. It wouldn't even be a surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if Wales come out second in this group or possibly even first. England and Wales in that one. I just don't see it enough. I just don't see enough from Wales to properly get out of this group. Knowing that they have, the United States first game, the second game is a little bit easier against Iran, but the last game, I mean, they're going to play against England last game, and you don't want what's England, Wales, and Scotland are probably the three teams that that will fight to the death simply because of geographically the Great Britain. So. John also agrees with me saying that Belgium is overrated AF. And I mean, I call it how I see it. There's no other way. So, yeah, give me France, Uruguay in the semifinal of this 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and we're going to lead up with that one. Who's it going to be? Okay, so this is where experience defeats youth, right? I really have. I mean, as stacked as France are, I mean, this will probably be maybe the last hoorah of France before the World Cup here. Look, they're gonna have to replace Hugo Lloris. They're gonna have to replace Karim Benzema. Maybe Kylian Mbappe will probably be that next front man, but I would beg to differ. I think Mbappe will still probably play out wide with this team because I mean they have I personally feel like there's already a good backup for Benzema, and that's what's his name? The dude from what is his name? They didn't even call him up. He plays in Germany. He plays for Leipzig. On Gugu, I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his name. I think that's his replacement. Now they don't have him for this World Cup. I mean, obviously they still have Giroud, who fits more the mold and the reason why they won the World Cup in 2018. But you have Benzema from man. I think Benzema is the guy. He's a goal scorer. And I think they're going to find a way. Would have been Mbappe out wide and maybe Antoine Griezmann either playing behind them or out wide too as well. You can't go wrong. Plus, you got Kingsley Coleman, who's just a fast freak. I mean, this dude is just fast, fast. Or you go with Dembele too, who Dembele even with Barcelona doesn't show up every so often, but with France, with Libri, he shows up. I mean, everybody shows up in this team. So give me France. Give me France in this one. I think France will do this. France is going to repeat. Ooh, well, we probably okay. Yeah. Will Benz be the star of the World Cup? No. One thing, if the only way Benz becomes a star of the World Cup is if he literally takes over the reins and he flirts with breaking the record of the top goal scorer of the entire tournament. I think the record is 9. I want to say it's 9. My math might be wrong with that one, but I think Benz. That's the only way. That's the only way that Benzema becomes a star of the World Cup. The star of the World Cup, to me, might be one of the young cats. I want to say if my predictions are correct, like if I have these 4 teams right in front of me that I just picked to go into the semifinal: Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and France. The star is either going to be Vinny Jr. or Valverde. I'm going to get a lot of Real Madrid love right now, but it's going to be the young stars coming up: Valverde or Vinny Jr. If I want to pick like an experienced player like Benzema, yeah, Benzema's a good one. But I think Argentina with Messi is probably like the story to be. So like those are the two. But I think the star that's going to come up. We're every year we see that. In 2014, we saw James rise to stardom. Right, it was a quick 2-3 year stretch where he was the man, and then he fled out. Right, a couple years ago, it was damn it, and I was just talking about this earlier today. I forgot. But every year there's a player that stands out. Right, that's the main of the story, the top of the story. Every year a player stands out and it gets the credit because of the World Cup showing. So it's gonna happen every year. John agrees with me. He said he won't see James. Colombia had that opportunity, man. They just choked. They lost in the final in the group stages or qualification tournaments. They lost 3 out of the last 4 games, with tying one, and that was their downfall in the qualification round. And yeah, Vinny Jr. So I think that's going to be the player to turn over for this one. Give me France. I got France Uruguay. Give me France in the final. And my other semifinal, if you guys have been watching from the very beginning here in the E.A.F.P podcast, brought to you by the Star 6 Media. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok too as well. The Star 6 Media on all our other episodes, to all the other podcasts from Big League Chicago, JCA Sports Podcast, Slap Shot, 3 Up, 3 Down, and all the other Sports Strip Live, everything else. Just make sure you hit that bell to follow us when we go live on our show. But this is my other semifinal, the best one of them all. This one will be the best matchup throughout the whole entire World Cup if it comes into fruition. I really do believe Argentina and Brazil. You talk about the two teams. If there's a team to beat this amazing streak that Argentina is in right now, is this team right here, is Brazil. If you want to talk about depth, like I mentioned before, Brazil has the biggest depth coming into this team, or into this tournament, along with France, right? But in Argentina right now, they're playing in the level where you hardly even see it. Spain did it a couple years ago. Italy just finished their run not so long ago too, of winning more than 30 games. And mind you, the national teams don't play more than probably 4, 5, 6 times out of the year, depending if they may have a makeup tournament in between. So to have a 36, 37 game winning streak, that says a lot. That really says a lot. John is on the comments. He's saying Mbappe and Modric blew up because of the World Cup. Well, no. Mbappe, yes. Mbappe was the one. So there's another player. Yes, he blew up. Modric has been doing it for a while. He was just under the radar simply because in Real Madrid, remember, you have Casemiro, you have Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos was coming right off the World Cup of 2014. You still have Ronaldo. Modric was still that guy. And that was just a magical run for Croatia back in 2018. So yes, Mbappe wasn't, but yes, he was, like you said, Modric was already started. You got Brazil, France in the final, and you won't be wrong either. That will be a good final too, depth wise. I mean, again, like I was just saying, Argentina is on this magical, this rare of a win streak. I mean, we've seen it so far a lot of times this year, but it's a hard company to come by because winning 30 games in a national stage, that's a lot. That's a lot of games, and you hardly even seen it. Even though, like I just said, we've seen it a lot in the last 2 years with Italy and Spain, especially the last 10 years. But if you tell me to choose between Argentina and Brazil, even after I said how deep and how good this Brazilian squad is, until I see it otherwise, man, I have Argentina winning this. This Argentinian team is different. This Argentinian team is not only playing obviously for the country, but it's playing for Messi, and they know the mission. You see every post game, you see every interview that Argentina's had. They always find a way to do it. They're not only doing it for Messi. To remember, look who also they lost this year. In this year, look who they lost. They lost their biggest idol in all of football, in Diego Maradona. Like, this will mean everything for them. That the year that Maradona, passed, Argentina will go all out. There's a whole storyline with Argentina. There is story upon a story upon a story, and these guys are playing with their pride. They're playing with their heart. They're playing for the badge. They're playing for one guy. They're playing for two guys. They're literally playing for a god and a half. For some people, Messi, they already consider him as God. But it just, Let me just show you my final, right? And I think I already proved it to you guys, but this is my final. Argentina, France. Like, Argentina, if Argentina goes all the way to the final, they'll break Italy's record of the most games won for a national team. Simple as that. If they make it to the final and win, this is a repeat of the round of 16 of what was one of the great one of the great games in 2018 for the World Cup between France and Argentina. And who could forget? I mean, that game was bonkers, going back and forth. Mbappe's run to get the penalty, Di Maria's goal, Benjamin Pavard's goal to probably put that game out of reach for Argentina. It was a good matchup from beginning to end. And Kylian Mbappe killing it for killing it for Argentina in that World Cup. I mean, we're gonna get this all over again. I think this year's World Cup for most of the teams is all about redemption and revenge. And like I had Germany versus Brazil in the quarterfinals. I had Brazil. That's the revenge from 2014. I had Argentina versus France, and another revenge game too as well. Um, Michael P. What's going on? It'll be a perfect ending to have Messi win, but Argentina falls to France. Argentina's always has a squad and always falls short in the World Cup. Perfect example, 2014. If there was one thing that will kill the Brazilians more getting murdered 7-0, 7-1 against Germany in the semifinal was Argentina to win the World Cup in Brazilian soil. That was the way there was a lot of Brazilians heading in for Germany that year. We're rooting for Germany that year to win the World Cup. And it was close, man. Higuain missing the big opportunity, a 1v1 against the goalkeeper against Neuer. The free kick I think Di Maria had. It was open to Maria Götze, who, by the way, give a shout out to my godson Mikhail, who called it the moment Götze came in for the sub. He said he's going to score the game when he goes. Gotta give credit where credit's due. He did call it. He did get it. So, what's going on, Michael P. I mean, you're not wrong. I think this, how I have this, my at least my predictions, my semifinal, right? France, Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil. I think any matchup wouldn't be wrong, right? Force of Portugal. That's a whole nother story with Portugal right now. But same thing, just like how Argentina plays for Messi, Portugal does the same thing for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just the lack of depth in Portugal to me that won't get it right. They have a good starting 11 with a few key players here and there. It's probably going to be probably the same rotation you're probably going to get every game that they play in, right? He said Cristiano Ronaldo is going to shine, and he has to. Man, does he have to? Because man, oh man, if you guys haven't seen the interview with Cristiano Ronaldo with Piers Morgan over the weekend, oh my God! But he's not wrong though. He's not wrong. And if Cristiano Ronaldo really wants to be chosen, right, for another team, another Champions League team who was part of the Champions League, just to get out of Manchester United, he's going to have to perform because the moments that he's had with Manchester United haven't been up to par. It's not the same Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story on him. Obviously, the main one with him losing his kid could have an effect too as well. But man, he said everyone hating on Manchester United now. Old players come out spilling the tea. For Manchester United, I know we're going off topic, and this is like for another podcast, but now I'm gonna give you like my little snippet of it. Manchester United hasn't really been Manchester United since Fergie left, and I think everybody has seen that, right? From David Moyes, they had the little reign of success with Mourinho, but that ended up sour because that put the team into debt behind the money. Then they came out with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who has a little bit of success, but it's not up to Manchester United level. And now with everything that's going to happen with Ten Hag, they want to revolutionize everything, but they're only hating as well on top of that simply because of what recently came out a few years back with this Super League 2 as well. Remind you, they were for all of this. So again, this is another podcast because I have my my opinion about this too as well. And Manchester United, from what everybody's been saying, they're not wrong. It's been a crap show for Manchester United for the last 10 years. And I agree. Mike P says Portugal doesn't have the depth. They'll be a disappointment. They can even beat Spain a weak Spain squad that they put out on the UEFA Nations League. Another, I mean, the Nations League. I had my opinion about that, but you're right. They have struggled. They struggle mightily too with the Spain team, and again, they have a starting 11 with probably like one or two players coming off the bench, but that's about it. Nothing too big. Can they get out of the group? The group is favorable. The group is favorable for Portugal. I honestly do believe that. But is it good enough? Is it good enough to beat? Is it good enough to beat Uruguay? Maybe. Is it good enough to beat Ghana? Well, they're the lowest ranked team in this World Cup. And I think they're 61 or 62. South Korea with Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son and South Korea will probably be the darlings of this World Cup. I think all the Asian teams, them and Japan, will probably be the most rooted teams in this World Cup because their group is, other than Japan, like the group is kind of winnable, right? Because with Germany in that group with Japan, obviously that's the front one. It's just are they gonna compete with Japan? Are they gonna compete with Costa Rica and Spain? And that's the real key. Costa Rica getting really old. Spain, very inexperienced, very young. Who's going to score a goal for them? So they don't have that much scoring options up front. They still have Busquets. Every player is young. Their experienced players are not there. At least they would probably take Sergio Ramos and at least give them that leadership that they need with the young kids up front. But even with that, like how much of that pressure for the young kids are going to be? And do you even trust them going forward, scoring goals? I don't. They don't produce anything going forward. So it's possible. The Asian teams, Japan and South Korea, are the sexy picks as dark horses to come out of the groups and head into the playoff round. So it's possible. I mean, it's possible, but I agree. Portugal doesn't have that depth. If they do round of 16, and we'll see later, that's at least how I have them. I have Portugal coming out second in this group, just barely, but saying deuces in the round of 16 after that. So. Yeah, Argentina, France. Look, man, France with the depth is everything that I need to say. They can have all the skilled players in the whole entire world. They can be loaded front to back, which they are. It's just Argentina right now is just playing with something more and more to give, and they want to give their country a lot more to be happy about after losing Maradona, right? I'm sticking with Argentina for this one. I'm doing 2-1. I personally believe this is going to be Argentina's World Cup, and we're going to see Messi with the goodbye wave and everything in his last hoorah with the Selección Argentina with the Albi Celeste. I do believe it. I mean, 2-1 Argentina in the final. I think so. I think that's where we're going to heading for. Argentina, France in the final. The curse will be lifted from France of winning the World Cup in 2018. I mean, you could probably put the curse. They're not going to. It's so hard to repeat nowadays World Cup finals. But you give me he's like, hey, I had the whole thing on. Why is so quiet? Give me Argentina in the final. Give me Argentina the 2022 World Cup winners. And Messi has his swan song. And Messi may not even come to the MLS. He's going to retire because he has accomplished almost everything in the whole entire world. And then that conversation, who's better between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi is better. Even then, so I think everybody wants the collision course of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in the final. I think that'd be great. And then if you believe in the Simpsons and everything that they have put in true, if it's really true, give me Mexico and Portugal in the final. I will agree with that 100%. I will cry every game after the quarterfinal. I will definitely cry in the semifinal when they make it. And if they're in the final, I'm sure to cry even more. So whether if you believe the Simpsons in the World Cup in 2022, Mexico, Portugal, Whether you believe in fairy tale stories and Argentina winning it all for not only for Messi but for Maradona as well, or if you believe in the football game in France and how deep it is in Brazil, whatever the case may be, we just want a good World Cup, a good it's just good because this World Cup has already been under scrutiny since the moment that it was given to Qatar back in 2015. So that's all we're praying for. That's all I'm praying for too as well. As much as I talked about a couple weeks ago about the whole corruption thing and everything, I'm cool. It is what it is. But the game of football, the game of soccer is for the fans. It's for the players on the pitch. It's for everybody, for us to enjoy literally top players in their best moment. It sucks that it's in November and December. It sucks that we're watching this around the holidays. This is supposed to be a summer event where it's just nothing but the World Cup. It sucks that the clubs have to stop their seasons because of this, because of stupidity. I'm gonna put it plain and simple. For this whole corruption, for money, for bribery, for whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, what's it for? It's for the players. It's for the players representing their country, and it's for us, the fans. It's for us that we enjoy watching it. We wake up every morning. I mean, hell, the first game when it's 40 games, it's at 4:00 in the morning. Guess what? Idiot's gonna be up at 4:00 in the morning watching the team that I don't even watch in real life and don't even know about very little. This guy right here. This team gives me headaches, gives me heartaches, it pisses me off to my core. But guess who's going to be up, or guess who's going to be watching every single game of every single second of every single minute of this team right here? This guy right here. I watch the United States men's national team simply because I love the sport. I watch the Belgians, even though I say they're overrated. I watch Japan. I watch South Korea. I watch every single minute of this game because I'm a lover of the sport, and I love this game with all my heart. I've been introduced to this game since I was 5 years old. That's all I want. This tournament has already, like I said, up in flames because of where it was placed back in 2015. This tournament is already being doubted as one of the worst World Cups. It was going to be one of the worst World Cups simply because of everything that's happened transpiring before. The Germans said it best before the World Cup, before their league was going to stop. It's going to be a World Cup that a lot of people that lost a lot of lives just to build these stadiums within the last 8 years. I'm not going to say the number, just purely respect out of the families, but the number for 5,000 minutes. That's all it is. So I'm just hoping that the play is good. The play is great. There is no scrutiny for the players inside the games whatsoever. Anything that's happened, it's already off to a bad start. Last week, even the ambassador of Qatar, for who's going to be the ambassador for the World Cup, already started off on the wrong note, saying that just for the sake of people, do not represent what your sexuality is because it's not going to go well with the people. It is what it is. Berhalter over here changing the colors of the United States, the rainbow color, to represent everybody else in this country and in the world for their sexuality. I'll give him that too as well. Michael P says, my heart says España and go USA. My mind says France and Argentina. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, that's a good pick. France and Argentina is a great pick. You can't go wrong there. Spain and USA. I mean, if that's where your heart is, just expect round of 16 because I think the United States are going to be, I'm fearful for the United States myself because I've just been reading a lot and they don't have a captain. The starting lineup is up in still up in the air. Who's gonna be in their starting back four? Yeah. I mean, hey, me too. I'll be watching every game. Hey, I mean, Mike P, you cheer for Spain. I'm with you. They're this young squad. I'm excited to see this young Spain team, see how they're going to produce into this World Cup because they're going to be a good team coming in for the World Cup if they qualify for the one here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So, I mean, you can only get better from that. So we'll see. We're going on for 50 minutes. I mean, this E.A.F.P podcast is getting longer and longer. Make sure you guys tune in on Sunday. I'll find a good time for it. Won't be interrupted in between, the American football. But Qatar, Ecuador on Sunday, 10 a.m. here. So make sure you guys wake up with your bowl of cereal, with your Cocoa Puffs, with your Fruity Pebbles, with whatever you like to eat in the morning, Raisin Bran, Honey Nut Cheerios, whatever cereal it may be. Make sure you guys wake up, or maybe some pancakes. If you wake up early, make some little pancakes, some eggs, some sausage, some bacon, a little bit. So maybe if you're a waffle guy, whatever the case may be, wake up with your breakfast with the World Cup on Sunday at 10 a.m. on what was it? Fox and Telemundo. I think those are the two channels that are going to represent the World Cup this year. So for the TV rights, so make sure you do that. We'll give you a little betting advice for the World Cup, right? So far within the last 8 World Cups. So you're talking about 18, 14, 2010, 2006, 2002, 98, and 94. The host nation has scored in every single opening game. Russia, Brazil, South Africa, Germany, Korea. I think Korea was the first one. France, and the United States. And 1990 was Italy. I think it was Italy, 1990. They've all scored. In the team that opens up the World Cup has all scored. Now, I'm not saying they scored the first one. I know South Africa did, Russia did, Brazil did. Not sure if Germany did. I don't remember back in 2000, and definitely not Korea because they play against Mexico that game. Over 1.5, the score line. Give it to Ecuador on the money line. I think Ecuador will probably win this one. Give it over 1.5 goals. I do think that Qatar will win. Will score one for their country, for their host. I mean, that it's always that, right? The very first game in the host country, you got all the pressure. You're gonna get the score. They're gonna be pressuring Ecuador from the get-go. But watch the game once they get that. Once they settle in, Ecuador will probably get back. Give me a 2-1 Ecuador win. And 1.5 on the money line. If you guys want to gamble it, go right ahead. I wish you guys good luck. Remember, starting on Sunday, every day, you guys are going to see this lovely face. I might have different drip, right? I might have a shirt here, I might have a shirt there. See who I represent for that day. But Sunday, I'll be on. I'll post it up on Facebook on the Star 6 Media Facebook page and the John Konami Facebook page. Should be on the lookout for that one. My show's going to be on. And then on Monday, we're going to go right at it at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock every day to talk about each and every game that has happened on that day. Monday is going to be a good one simply because it's the United States men's national team against Wales. Tuesday is going to be a better one simply because it's Mexico versus Saudi Arabia that game. So Mexico versus Poland that day. So I'm starting off strong with the World Cup, and then I'm going to keep getting stronger after that. So I will see you guys on Sunday. Remember, every day from here all the way up to the final, you will see the E.A.F.P. up until we get into the playoff round. So that's what kind of breaks up. So you'll see me here for the group stages every single day. Like I said, new intro, new outro for Sunday for the World Cup. I will see you guys then. Good luck this weekend on gambling. And let's enjoy the World Cup, everybody. Let's enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to love it. And it's going to be great. So I will see you guys on Sunday at, again, just be on the lookout on the Facebook. I don't know. I want to say 5. I think 5 o'clock is probably a safe bet simply because the football is about to end between the afternoon games and before the Sunday night football game. So 5, 6 o'clock, you'll see me here. I'll post it up on the social media platforms. If you follow me on my personal Facebook, Eric Saul Avila, I'll post it on there too as well. Make sure you guys share every episode, not just my podcast, but all the other podcasts too as well. Slapshot is on right now. I will see you guys then. See you Sunday. Peace.
Scrooge smile with the quality of his goal.
See you later.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
He's intolerable.